it's Abby Briars and I'm back today to have a chat about 2022 in the model horse hobby. I had hoped to film this video before the end of 2022, however I've just recovered from a nasty kind of respiratory virus, so I haven't been able to film until today, which is New Year's Day, so Happy New Year and welcome to 2023. To start with, I thought I'd do a quick rundown of my top 5 models that I purchased in 2022. Seen a lot of people in the hobby do this and I love seeing what people purchase. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So my number 5 spot goes to this grey Pinto Briarfest surprise horse on the Cleveland Bay mould. I just absolutely love his colour and I love his eyes and his wonky little blaze. He's just a really fun model. I didn't have much luck with getting special runs first hand myself this year. If you follow this channel, you'll know I got selected for the bears in the random selection and I didn't keep them. So it was great to pick up this guy second hand. So then we move on to 4th position for this year. And I'm pulling out Uffington for my 4th favourite model from 2022. He was on my in search of list at the beginning of 2022 and he is a Briarfest 21 special run. I just love his unique colour and ever since he was announced I've just really wanted this model, so when he came up on eBay I did bite the bullet and buy him. He's in really good condition and just a lovely model. I think he's my favourite on this mould so far, so I was super happy to pick him up. Then in 3rd place I've picked out Animar to represent the Premier Club from 2022. I've really enjoyed being in the Premier Club again for that year, but this guy was my favourite sculpt, so I thought he deserved a spot on the list. He's just really fun and dynamic. I do really like his dapples. I know it's kind of a love-hate thing in the hobby, but he's just a really gorgeous sculpt and I can't wait to see them bring him out in different colours. But certainly he is deserving of a spot here on the top 5 purchases from 2022. In 2nd place, we've got Georg, who is the original and from the 2019 Premier Club. As you can see behind me, and I point them out a lot in my videos, I do conga this mould. And I actually added 4 on this mould to my conga of 5 this year. So this conga has really grown in 2022. I started off with just Theo, the regular run, and then we got Georg in early 2022. Again, he was an eBay find and I just love his colouring. This mould is just so cute and chunky. I love it. I'm a big draft person and this mould just seems to speak to my heart. So I'm super happy to have found him, and then we ended up adding as well this year Oak, who is a Briarfest 2021 special run. We added Honey Bear from the Collect Club and the Rhenish Draft as well from Briarfest, and obviously Theo was already there. So this conga is now my joint 2nd largest conga with Shannondale, which is really interesting. I did plan on really going hard on my Shannondale conga, but I just haven't seen any Shannondales really up for sale that I'm missing, so I ended up buying George's instead apparently. And then finally in my top spot, which will not surprise anybody if they know me, I bought Alborozo this year and he has been kind of my model horse grail since I rejoined the hobby in 2019. He's the 2008 celebration model from Briarfest and the mould was destroyed, which is why he's so sought after. But I love his kind of almost chalky paint job. He's got really nice subtle dapples. He's a really well done model. Considering he would have been a run in the thousands for Briarfest, he feels kind of connoisseur level. So that's why I think he's really popular. But I'm super happy to have bit the bullet and got him. He is my most expensive model horse, so I do feel a bit weird that I spent so much money on him. However, I feel he is worth it and I don't have any regrets. So he is here on the top spot for 2022. So I thought it would also be fun to just go through this little list that I made in 2022 right at the beginning of January, and this is like my model horse New Year's resolutions / goals. So the first one was to do more tack making, and I wrote out a list of a few like tack sets that I wanted to make. And I did do a lot of tack making in 2022. So I did a Western set, which you could see as my like International Tack Month set back in March. That's another YouTube video. So I made a pole tack set for Western with plates and everything. I did a saddle seat set for Lafayette, the Hamilton mould. I made a racing set, and I also finished 2022 doing a little bit of tack making and starting this endurance set. So this is for the Altai Acolteque mould of Briars in this funky kind of green and white colour scheme. I just need to finish the stirrups and add a few accessories, and then this set will be done. It's just taken me a few weeks to kind of figure out how I'm going to do the stirrups. I think I've got an idea now, so that's going to be a job for early 2023 to finish this tack set. And then my new challenge for 2023, tack making wise, is I'd absolutely love to have a go at making a harness. I am a little bit scared of kind of driving and harnesses because I don't have a lot of familiarity with them in real life. But having said that, I don't really have a lot of familiarity with Western, and I seem to have been able to cobble together some pretty decent tack. So I'm hoping to challenge myself to do a driving set this 2023. So we'll have to see at the end of the year whether I manage to do that. Moving on, I wrote a lot of goals to do with customising for 2022. It was an area that I really wanted to get into. So I first off challenged myself to do Namo Paymo, which is always in February, and it's where you have a month to paint a model horse. I did this little custom back in February of 2022. He's based off a riding school pony, but he is not the best custom. To be honest, I really rushed this model. I was not patient in the prepping and priming stage, so I had some issues there. I just wanted to do the challenge, and I did push this model. Like, I didn't pay attention to what I was doing really, so he's ended up quite grainy, and I just don't really like him, but I've kept him as kind of a memento of doing Namo Paymo. But I did decide after I finished Namo Paymo that actually I really wanted to improve, so I did put a lot of effort into customising in 2022. I did buy a book on customising, which was really good, and went through how to use acrylic bases and pastels really effectively. So a few months later, I progressed and did this little custom, who is a custom of a pony called Jake, who I learnt to jump on again. I did jump as a kid, but I hadn't done it for over 10 years, and so I'm relearning as an adult, and he is one of the horses that's been helping to do it. So I really am proud of this custom. I spent a lot of time on him. I learned how to do whites with acrylics really effectively, and I spent ages doing his detail work. So there was a big difference in a couple of months with my customising. Still wasn't saying I was live show quality or professional or anything like that, but I felt the difference, which is brilliant. And so I got a bit more confident with my customising and decided to do some artist resins painted. So I absolutely love Clarity Studios UK sculpts. And so I painted this little Frisian in like a bluey black colour. He's called Geralt. And so he was kind of my first artist resin that I dared to paint. I'd bought a few of them and I'd just been scared to paint them, but equally I didn't really want to send them away for painting. I wanted to do it myself, so I pushed myself. And then the next one I completed, we had little Icarus here. He's a micro mini by Kelly Seeley, and I painted him to this kind of buckskin colour with these really funky wings. But I was super proud of him, and again I focused on getting quite a lot of detail and shading into him with pastels. Confidence was growing, so then I progressed and did another Clarity Studios sculpt. This is Griffin, he's an Irish cob, and I painted him in the summer of 2022 to this kind of skewbald colour. And then finally, as we got towards the end of the year, I painted the smallest little micro that I own. This is tiny, this is Arcus. If you can see him in the palm of my hand, like, he is a really small little model. But I painted him to be a little bay Polish cold blood. And then finally, I ended 2022 by painting the Black Beauty artist resin. He argued with me that he did not want to be Black Beauty. I tried to paint him black. He said, no, thank you, I'm going to be flat and boring. So he got turned into a blue roan, which is my absolute favourite colour to paint. And I made him a blue roan Appaloosa after a horse that I knew back when I was learning to ride as a child, who was this little blue roan Appaloosa type pony. But he is my final custom from 2023. And looking at them all here now, which is kind of the weird because it's the first time I've got them all out together, I can see there's been quite a bit of progress in 2022, so I'm super happy with that, and definitely I want to continue customizing into 2023 with my main goals being learning how to airbrush. I'll give you a sneaky peek of a few projects that I'm doing for 2023. This is Georg. I resculpted his mane, got rid of his kind of really short mane because I think this mould would look so nice with a long flowing mane. So I decided to resculpt one and did it with Magi Sculpt. No, 2-part epoxy, that's what I did it with. And he just needs painting this year, but I want to do a airbrush base coat, so he is waiting to have that done. And then I am going to do Namo again this year. So but I've picked out this little dude who is a little stablemate. And what I've decided I'm going to do is in January, so now, I'm going to resculpt him. I'm going to chop off this neck and then I'm going to resculpt him so he's got kind of an extended head rather than this tucked up head. I'm going to sculpt him new ears because I hate the ears on this sculpt. And then I'm going to prep him ready for Namo in February. So those are kind of my 2 starting projects for 2023. Definitely want to do more resculpting and I want to learn to airbrush. So those are kind of my main goals. Finally, I did do a models in search of list for 2022. There's only 3 models on it. Sadly, I only ticked off 2, which were Uffington and Alboroso. So I still have on here for Shannondale. Shannondale is a bit elusive. I have not seen any for sale in the UK at all 2022, so I don't know if it's ever going to pop up for sale in the UK, and I just don't want to pay crazy prices for it and shipping and things, so he's still on my list for 2023. Other models on my list, the only one I can think of off the top of my head would be Fabio, who is the Duende in like a red dun splash from the Collector Club a few years ago. Other than that, I don't really have a huge in search of. I think I'd like to get the new Fjord regular run that's coming out that's in like the standard Fjord colour, just because I love Astrid mould. But I don't really have a massive load of in search ofs for 2023. I am trying to collect more of what I like, of what I love rather than what I like, just because I'm starting to run out of space and I just don't want to end up with loads of models that are average. I want models that I really, really love. So I'm going to try and be tougher on myself. And then finally, another thing I'd like to do would be to get a Peterstone designer horse. Always fancied having a go at designing the horse and seeing what it looks like a few months later. I did actually get my first Peterstone and kind of my last model of 2022, although I want to count it as my first model of 2023 because it arrived literally at the end of the year. So to finish this video, I thought I'd just show my very first Peterstone model. So this is a designer horse on the Remington mould in this really nice chestnut. Super cute face marking. I love the detailed eyes. And yeah, my very first Peterstone. But I really liked this mould. It came up for a decent price. And I'd had a rubbish Christmas being ill. So I think that maybe made me cave and buy it to cheer myself up. But anyway, this is my first model of 2023, I've decided, because I haven't announced it or shown it on my Instagram until today. So here we go. Welcome to 2023. I hope you'll follow me through 2023. I'm sure to post lots more content, especially in the lead up to Briarfest. And I'll keep you along with me on my tack making and my customizing journeys. How about that? All right, I'll see you soon in another video. Let me know in the comments what your favourite models from 2022 were, and if you have any model horse New Year's resolutions. Take care now. Bye bye.